Hello everyone, welcome to Intellipaat's YouTube channel. In this session, we are going to cover the Django tutorial. In this Django tutorial, we are going to make a series of videos to explain to you how Django works and how you can create your web applications using Django. Django is a full stack web framework and it is way ahead of its times. So to look at the agenda for this session, we are going to first start with how Django exactly works and how you can create your first Django application. So without any further ado, let's begin with this session and stay tuned for more such tutorials with Intellipaat. And don't forget to subscribe to Intellipaat for more such sessions. So without any further ado, like we have mentioned in the agenda also, we'll be taking a look at how we can start a Django app. Basically, what we are going to do here is create a Django app and deploy it on a server, a local host, and I'll tell you how you can do that using PyCharm. So first of all, if you haven't done installation of PyCharm on your system, I suggest you do that. And if you're already done with that, the very first thing that you have to do to create a Django app is basically go to your file, whatever project that you have created. If you have not created a new project, you can create a new project over here. What you have to do is basically give the name for your project, choose a virtual environment. If you want to make available to all your projects, you can do that as well, and inherit the global side packages. Since we have already done that, we'll just go to settings, the very first thing that you have to do to start a Django app. And you go to Python interpreter, and over here you have to add Django. Alright, so since it is not installed, we'll just install the package, and while it is installing, I'm going to tell you a few things about Django. So Django is a full stack web framework, which means basically you can work on both the front end and the back end using Django framework. So we have another framework which is the micro framework that is Flask, available for Python development, and there you can also do as many things as you can in Django. But the only thing that Django comes up with is that Django is a full stack web framework, and you will be able to integrate the databases and create a lot of views for you. The URLs, everything will be here in your repository that you want to create. Since we already installed Django, the very first thing that you have to do for creating a Django project, you open the terminal, and in the terminal you have to do Django admin create project. Alright, so I think we have entered a wrong command. So you have to do Django admin start project my app. So this will be your project, and once you have run this command, what you have to do is go check your repository or the directories in your project. So you can see there is a new directory that is my app. So when you open this, you will find a lot of files. First is manage.py, then we have all these files called asgi.py, settings.py, urls.py, and wsgi.py. So now to check if we have installed or basically created our project successfully or not, what you have to do is in the terminal itself write python manage.py run server. Alright, so it's saying it's not in the same directory. We'll go to the same directory then and run the command again. So it's going to open the localhost server for us, which is 127.0.0.1, and the port number is 8000. So we have installed successfully the Django app. Now in this session, what I'm going to do is take you through various intricacies of Django that you have to abide by, so that you'll be able to basically create this entire project by yourself. Now what do you have to do when you open this localhost server? So whenever we open this server, there has to be some sort of index page or a basic home page that should open. So now to do that, what we have to do is create an app for us. So we'll just close the server for now. Now to create an app, what we have to do is python manage.py start app and your app name, which will be, let's say, sample for us. Alright, so now if I check my directory, we have my app and there is sample as well. So in sample we have again these files: admin.py, apps.py, models.py, tests.py, and views.py. So the index page that is going to be displayed when you open the localhost server is going to be in the views.py. Now if you check the official documentation of Django, they have created a basic getting started tutorial where you will be able to display a message on your web app when you open the localhost server. Now we'll do that as well, and we'll be also taking a look at how you can create a template, basically an HTML template. Whenever you open your localhost server or the URL, it will open that particular HTML template as well. Alright, so we will write a couple of things. So from django.http we are going to import HTTP response. So this basically will be used for our index page, and like request over here. Now what we want is we want to return an HTTP response. It's going to say this is my app. Alright, now let's see if we can run the server, and will you be able to basically have this message on your, okay, so it's not showing, so something's already missing. So what we'll do now here is we'll go to, okay, first of all let's close the server. Alright, so what we'll have to do is create a urls.py file in your apps directory, and you'll have to make changes to this urls files as well. So we have sample urls, which is your basically your urls for your application, and then you have the urls for your project as well. Since you see there is already an admin url over here, which we'll talk about in just a while, so we'll just write include over here. Alright, before making changes to this file, we will write a few urls for the sample. Alright, so basically what we'll have to do is we'll have to create a few imports from Django.urls. We will have to import path, and then from dot we'll have to import views, and we'll have to create the URL patterns here, in which, so we'll have to basically give a path here. And alright, so path is nothing but we're gonna leave it at blank, and then from views we are going to import index. Name will be index as well. Alright, so after this we have to create a few changes to our like the original, basically the urls file that we have for the project. Here also we'll have to add a path, and here we can just add another include over here, and using include we are going to use sample.urls. So we run our server again, and as you can see we are displaying the message from the HTTP response. Now the thing that we are going to do different here, instead of this message that we are getting, we are going to create a template, basically an HTML file that will be running in the background for us. And since you have already seen this admin URL as well that will be added to our server, I'll talk about the admin and how to create a super user for that as well. Now to create a super user, what we have to do is basically .py. Alright, so we are getting an error. Alright, so the error that we are getting is because we have not run the migrations. So before that, before creating a super user, we'll have to run the migrations, and after this we will create the super user. Now for the super user admin name, we are going to use admin, and for email ID we will just write admin@xyz.com, one password, and now we have created a super user successfully. Alright, to check this we'll run the server again. Now we'll go to the admin URL, and here we are going to log in from the admin username and the password that we have created. Now this is the Django admin page, basically from where you can manage all your databases or the model that you will be created. That we'll be discussing in the next session, where we will be creating the product landing pages. We'll be creating a lot of stuff like to-do list app, and there I will show you how you can create models for your the Django app, and how you can go on about managing your databases from here itself. Alright, so since we have done creating the Django admin as well, what we'll do is we will create a HTML template and try to use that in our project over here. Now to do that, what we have to do is create a directory basically for our HTML template. For that we'll create a directory which will be named as templates. So whatever templates or HTML files that you will be creating will be used from this particular directory. We'll name our HTML file as my file. So we'll give this title as my app, and for the body we'll add a couple of things like h1 header, we'll add paragraph, and let's also add a couple of h2 headers. Alright, so for h1 we'll be just writing that this is my first Django app. The paragraph I'll be writing as we have successfully created a Django app. And for the H2, stay tuned for more such sessions. And for the other one, please subscribe to Intellipaat for more such tutorials. So in this series of the Django tutorials that we are creating, we are basically going to create a lot of these templates, or basically the entire projects where we will be creating a polls app, basically that is given in the Django documentation. We'll be creating all these to-do list apps. We'll be creating a product landing page. We'll also be taking a look at how you can do the login authentication in different websites. You will be also creating e-commerce clone, basically showing you how everything works using Django. So this, if you stay tuned for these sessions, you'll be able to call yourself a full stack developer by the end of these sessions, because we are going to cover almost everything that is required in a full stack framework. And since Django is a full stack framework, you will be learning everything that is there using these sessions. So now we've created this particular HTML template that we'll be using in our Django app. Alright, so now to be able to do that, what we have to do is create a few changes basically in our views.py file. So instead of this HTTP response, we'll be sending our HTML template. So now to do that, what we have to do is import another from Django dot template. We are going to import loader, and now here we have to add a little statement. So we'll have template is equal to loader dot get template, and inside this we'll be mentioning the name of our HTML file. Alright, so in the HTTP response, what we have to do is we have to use the template and render the template. So if you have worked on Flask, I don't know if you remember, we have this render template function that does the same job for us, that will be doing it from here as well. Now, so let's say we have created all these changes. Will I be able to reflect these changes on my app? So if I go to, so it's still showing that template does not exist. Since we have already created the template, we have all these files also, but there are some things that we have forgot to do. So in order to master this, basically what you have to do is go to settings.py from your now here you will have this installed app section. You have to make a few changes here as well. So you have to write sample.apps, sample basically what the name of your app is, and then sample config. So these are the configurations you're making for your app. Now if I go on and reload this, I'm able to get my template over here. So this is how easily you can load the template, and just run the migrations as well, whatever changes we have created. So it is showing no migrations to apply. Now with this, what we have done is we have established the base of how you can create a simple Django project. If you check out their documentation, they have pretty much told you the same thing, but I have just added a little bit to this, where we have created a template and we are loading that template, basically rendering that template on our web page. If you just take a look at it again. Now if you have any questions related to this, you can mention them in the comment section below, and I'll be more than happy to help you guide through your journey, starting with the Django web development framework. And in the upcoming sessions, we'll be taking a look at how you can create a polls app, how you can create a to-do list, how you can create a product landing page, and how you can create various other projects like a clone of an e-commerce website, where we'll be having different login authentications and integrating the databases and everything else. So thank you for watching this session, and if you have again any questions related to this session, please ask us in the comment section below. We'll be more than happy to help you. And before leaving, do not forget to subscribe to Intellipaat and press the bell icon to get the latest updates from Intellipaat. Thank you.
Just a quick info guys, Intellipaat has a Python Django training and certification course where you will get to learn all the important concepts of web development using Django framework or web design from industry experts. You can reach out to us if you wish to know more.